I was a freshman in a college that was 6 hours away from my parents' house. I was living in dorms that would kick us out every holiday break, so I would take the Amtrak train back and forth. I went to my parents' home for Christmas break and took an early morning train to get back to my college town. However, when I got back to the dorms, I found out that I arrived a week before the new semester started. I had no choice but to phone my mom up and have her buy me a ticket on the next Amtrak train back to her house. By the time the Amtrak train showed up hours later, I was thoroughly exhausted. I hadn't slept much on the early morning train. This train was completely packed, so I sat in the window seat of one of the last available spots. The person who sat beside me had a stack of books on his pull-out tray he was leafing through. He started a conversation about one of the books and introduced himself. We got to talking about what we do, and red flags start popping up. I told him I was a pre-vet major, and he told me that he worked at a squirrel rescue. Or I told him that I enjoy playing chess, and he told me that he beat a grandmaster at chess. You know, little things like that are just way too good to be true. I wasn't in the mood to deal with a pathological liar, so I started texting my boyfriend. My trainmate then starts asking incredibly personal questions about my boyfriend's and mine's sexual relationship. He started telling me how every girl he's been with before had squirted and I should go out with him instead. And then he tried taking the phone from my hands to text my boyfriend that I was breaking up with him. I was completely spooked, so I got up and went to the bathrooms. I asked a train attendant if there were any other seats available, but she said the train was booked. Looking back, I should have explained the situation to her, but hindsight is 20/20. So I get back to my seat and see that he pulled out a soda can. He drinks the soda and then crushes it and proceeds to take a bite from the can. I'd had enough of Goat Boy, so I turned away, tried to ignore him, and tried to catch a quick nap since I was exhausted. While I was laying there, he struck up a conversation with a girl in the aisle next to us. They talked out how both their exes stabbed them in the past. Goat Boy told the girl a story on how his previous girlfriend carved her name into his back. I think at this point I passed out from exhaustion and the sheer absurdity of the situation. Eventually, but not soon enough, the train arrived at its destination. Now the downside is that I had to catch a connecting train to get home. The guy blocks me in my seat and said he wouldn't let me leave without my number. I said to hell with that, and pushed him out of the way. I grabbed my luggage and got off the train as quickly as I could. I thought I saw him follow me off the train, so I tried to get lost in the crowd of the train station. I saw him following me still. Not hard to follow someone with a suitcase full of luggage rolling around, so I went to a conductor and explained that I was being followed by a man that creeped me out on the train. That conductor was absolutely fantastic and got security to escort me to my departing train. I eventually made it back home safely and without any further incident. Looking back, I should have done something to stand up for myself on the train. But when you're an 18-year-old sheltered and exhausted individual, you tend not to make the best decisions. I'm also incredibly lucky that he didn't do anything, that I know of, while I was asleep. Please, subscribe.